this is Kate, and this video is going to demonstrate how you can use YouTube's video editor to blur out information from videos. So you'll want to make sure that you've already done your filming and you have that video file saved to your computer. Once you've saved the video to your computer, you're ready to head to youtube.com. And you'll want to make sure that you are signed in with your PVUSD account. So you can tell by clicking on the profile picture in the top right corner, and you should see your PVUSD email address. If you don't, you can click sign out and sign back in with your PVUSD credentials. Once you've done that, you can click on the plus sign and video camera icon to create a new video in YouTube. You'll click upload video. Here you'll need to select the video file that you've saved to your computer. And you will need to go through the process of publishing the video. You can always come back and edit the title and description and thumbnail later. So I'm going to go ahead and click next and next. And here I'm going to make the video private for now. I can edit the video and blur things out, and then I can make it public. So for now, I'm going to leave it as private and save. Now that my video has been uploaded to YouTube, I can find the video here and click on the pencil icon for more details. And in this details view, I have access to the video editor. So I'm going to click on editor. And here's a preview of my video. I can click play to watch my video and look for the parts in the video that I want to blur information from. Let's say this first part of the video here has some private information. I'm going to pretend like this purple tile over here in the top right is some information that I don't want to show in my video. So in this row down here, I can blur parts of my video by clicking on the plus sign to add blur. I can select either face blur or custom blur. For this purpose, I'm going to select custom blur. So I can choose my blur shape. For this purpose, a rectangle is just right. And I can choose to track object or fix blur position. Well, this object's not going to move in my view, so I'm going to fix blur position. I can move this translucent frame, this rectangle, over the area that I want to blur. And I can resize it by clicking and dragging from any of these blue dots. When I have the blur panel in just the right spot, next I want to decide how long that panel stays up for. This blue bar down here in the blur row of my editor shows me the duration of that blur panel. As my video plays, this black line with a dot on top, the playhead, moves along the frames of my video down below. I'm pausing it here because that part of the video is over, and I want to make sure that my blur panel stayed in place long enough. I can drag the playhead over and see that my blur panel ends here, but there's a little bit more footage of this tile that I want to blur. So I need to extend this blue bar over just a little bit more. And then I can drag the playhead back and check. So that's how to blur an object that is fixed in your video. A little bit later on in the video, let's say here, for example, Jeanette's name and photo here, perhaps I want to blur out that row of information. But you'll notice that a little bit later in the video, I scroll down on this screen and Jeanette's row kind of moves up. So in that situation, I want to add in a blur panel that tracks the object, right, as that name moves up. So again, I can go to the plus sign, and I'm doing a custom blur, not a face blur. I want to resize this panel to be just the right size for that row of information and move it over Jeanette's info. And now I want to select Track Object, and now it should be tracking that object. So I'm going to click play just to make sure it tracks where I want it to. Here her name is Stationery. Then I start to scroll there and you'll see that it did track that object. There was a little bit of a lag sometimes. So for example, I'm dragging my playhead right about here. I can see her name. So I can pause it right there and just move that panel to the right place. Click play again. Okay, that looks good. So now the last part of my video has some footage of students running here. Let's say this student in the orange shirt here has asked me not to include his image in my video. So I'm going to add one more piece of blur, but this time I'm going to add face blur. The YouTube video editor has some technology for detecting faces in your video. It takes a couple minutes to run through your video and detect faces, so be patient while it works its magic. Alright, so now YouTube has finished searching for faces in my video, and I just need to select the face of the student who I want to blur out and click Apply. Takes a second to process, but you'll notice it has put a little oval face blur right on that student's face and already automatically resized it, and it should automatically track that face throughout the video. So let me bring it back to the beginning of the section where students appear, and let's see how it does. It's following the student's face pretty well. But it seemed like at the end there, it did kind of show the student's face. So it does a pretty good job, but you do want to run through it again, dragging the playhead. And if you find a spot like here, where it's not really blurring the student's face, you can adjust it. And when you're finished blurring out the info that you need to blur out, click Save. And when your video is done processing, you'll want to come back here to the My Videos screen and find that video. And again, click on that pencil to see the details and change that visibility from private now to unlisted or public. Unlisted means anyone with the link can see it, and public means users can search for it on YouTube. After making those changes, click the Save button. I hope this helps you make and share videos while protecting privacy of students and staff. Thanks for watching.